Alright, so I'm Brenda. This is Nikki. I live right here in our off-grid homestead. If I didn't give you guys a tour, I'd be happy to give you a tour. We live 100% on rainwater. We use solar for our energy. We have a permaculture no-till garden. We raise meat rabbits, meat chickens, egg-laying chickens, yeah, stuff like that. That cabin is our office. We own our own business called Blue Dock Media, where we build websites for small business owners. And we sent out a book called Small Town Shoppers, if anyone got it in the mail. Did you? Okay. Okay. If you didn't get, I'll get you one before you leave. If you didn't get one, let me know. You probably got one in Big Sandy. So that's what Sean and I do here. So that's the office, living room, bedroom. And then that cabin is the kitchen, dining room, and storage. So after we're all said and done, I'll be happy to give anyone a tour that wants one. Pretty much an open book. So basically what I'm going to do today is go over these things which are very basic, and then I'm going to show everyone who wants to how to be their own doctor, right? Because I could say, well, you should try peppermint 'cause it's going to make you feel better, Robert. And you should try mullein 'cause it's going to make you feel better. And Carolyn needs rose because it's going to make her feel better. But ultimately, we all need to know how to do it ourselves. So we're going to cover how to make tinctures, infused oils, salves, and vinegars, and also natural cleaning products. But the most important part of the day is going to be how to do it yourself. And the steps, the process, it's an easy step, right? Figure out what's wrong with you. What can I find that's a natural solution? And what do I need for that natural solution? Does it need to be a salve? Does it need to be an oil? Does it need to be a tincture? You know, can I just chew on it and stick it on my bee sting, right? Like Diane just did, which is perfect. But that's the kind of thing we're going to cover. So, what do you want to say?
Thanks for being here, you guys.
All right. So we're going to start with window cleaner. I am very lazy, and my multi-purpose cleaner I also use as window cleaner. So basically you need any cheap or reused spray bottle, and you're going to put vinegar and water in it. And the best way to clean windows is with newspaper. Did everyone already know that? Yeah. Okay, good. Did you know that? See, okay, so Mary didn't know that, so that's good. If my windows are real dirty, I'll take a soapy dish rag and I'll scrub the windows with soapy water, and then I'll dry them off, and then I'll clean them with vinegar. So I usually use, like, for this much, I'll maybe put, I don't know, a quarter cup of vinegar and fill the rest with water. So that's where you can, I left you space if you want to fill in amounts. So very little bit of vinegar, mostly water, and then you're going to put in essential oils. So if you want it to be scented, you can put in lemon, you can put in tea tree, you can put in peppermint. But if you don't want to do that, what I do is I infuse my vinegar, which is the last thing on the list, but it's relevant to making window cleaner. I just have sliced orange peels, and these are non-organic oranges. So if I'm going to be ingesting the vinegar, I use organic orange peels. But if I'm not, I don't just throw them away. They don't have to be wasted. I'll put them in a jar, and then I just fill them with vinegar. So you can use white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. And I just leave them in here, and when it's time to put a little bit of vinegar in my cleaner, I use the orange infused so that it's orange scented.
I don't know about you, but I keep one of these under the sink in the bathroom, or actually just in the shower, because we're heathens. And then under the sink in the kitchen, because then when I clean out the shower, well, I'll pour that into my bottle.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I get done with my shower, then I can just spray it all up and clean it up, you know, once a week, or I tell myself once a week. Just whenever it gets to the point where it's filthy, you know.
Yeah, I usually have one of these in each cabin, because otherwise then I would be like running back and forth, and I don't like to do that. So what I add to the multi-purpose cleaner that's different than just vinegar and water, so it can be infused vinegar or straight vinegar, just so we're clear. You can add essential oil or not, as much as you want. I like peppermint and lavender.
I like scents. Yeah,
I like cinnamon. I like orange, clove. There's so many things. If you wanted to, you could take cinnamon sticks, cloves, and peppermint, put that in a jar with vinegar, and that would make a nice Christmassy
And
window
the scents,
cleaner or multi-purpose cleaner to give as holiday gifts.
the scents also serve more of a purpose than just being scented.
They
Some
do.
of that stuff is a deterrent for insects and things like that. So
And the citrus is a degreaser too.
yeah.
So it is a natural degreaser. That's true. Good point. Okay, so for the multi-purpose cleaner, you're still going to start with the vinegar and the water, right? And the only thing I change is I add dish soap. And I don't add much. I either use this, Myers Clean Day. You can see I even watered that down because it's a concentrate. I put,
This
A
is
tablespoon.
also concentrate.
yeah, I put maybe a tablespoon. That's what I was going to get. I might put a tablespoon for an entire container. So besides it saving a whole bucket of money, instead of buying Fantastic or Comet or any of these other commercial multi-purpose cleaners, it's all natural. If your dog licks the counter afterwards,
Or your
if you've got
baby.
babies crawling on the floor, you know, it's not going to hurt anyone. And it costs virtually nothing. You just keep refilling this bottle. Does anyone have questions about the window cleaner or multi-purpose cleaner?
For the Christmas one, you said cinnamon stick, peppermint, and what was the third flavor?
Cloves.
Cloves.
You could change it up too. You could do. You might like something besides peppermint. You might find that you like star anise, because that would be a good scent too.
What is EO?
Essential oil. Sean asked me the exact same question. I'm sorry. I should have wrote it out. Okay, so
It
What?
also makes it to where you can make something if you're a person who has allergies. You don't have to worry about what kind of extra whatever they're putting in it at the store. You could just very simply make it very inexpensive, and then you can control what scents you have or no scent.
that's
Because
right.
when you clean it with no scent, it's disinfected, it's clean. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right, and the vinegar is a really good disinfectant for sure. Okay, so homemade wet wipes. I know you know about this, Mary. This isn't for you. So this is what I do. It's pretty simple. It's paper towels cut in half, put in a glass jar that we reuse, and I make up a jar that's called wet wipe refill. So I always have these two things sitting together, and this jar literally has 1 drop of dish soap, 1 or 2 drops of essential oil. Sometimes I use tea tree just because it's got some antibacterial to it.
Antifungal.
Sometimes I like a little peppermint or lemon, you know, because if we're using it to wipe down a counter or clean up with or whatever, you know, get the stinkies off you if you got a little stink on you. So, and the rest is water. So literally when you're buying wet wipes at the store, you're paying for paper towels and someone to scent it for you. So, and there's a bunch of toxic crap in it that makes you really, really super
Preservatives,
sick.
Hormone
Is it
disruptors.
distilled water or filtered water?
It's
In
always
here,
filtered water.
you-
always.
yeah, I like filtered water, but I mean, you could use either. You could use either. And if you just use tap water, it would be better than wet wipes from the store anyhow.
Do you use that whole jar for that bulk?
No, you just,
No, yep.
just drip them down
Yep.
until they're wet, and
Right.
then when you seal them, that keeps them from drying out.
That's
You can
exactly
actually use. I use a different method with a jar with a flip top.
Mm-hmm.
Put that in there and put your dish rags in it, and it's like those Clorox wipes, but they're reusable. You wipe your whole counter down.
Yep.
Do what you're gonna do for the day, and then you take that rag and you throw it in the laundry.
Right, and you could do the same thing with this. Would be more reusable and more environmentally friendly if you just took a stack of washcloths and put them in the container, and you just pour enough over this. And I wasn't clear, but you just pour enough over this until they're damp.
Moist.
You know, you can make them real wet to where you pull it out and you're going to use it and you got to squeeze it out a little bit. And if you do, then I just put more paper towels in and dry it up a little. Or if it's too dry, then you add a little bit more. So you really can control it. You know, if it's a really sticky mess you're cleaning up on the counter somewhere, you might want to add a little more liquid to it,
And
right?
it's super nice to have them in the car, like especially in one of these kind of containers
Mm-hmm.
where you got a good seal on it, or a jar where you got a good seal on it, because you put your dang baby wipes in the car, and then the sun's just
Dries them out.
evaporating them out.
And there's
Get
a
in
bunch of
there
crap.
and it's- Yeah, and there's a bunch of crap in them.
No.
have you ever heard anything about lavender essential oils being bad, not to be used with young children?
No, never.
Never.
No, I know a lot
I
of
had
people
heard
use
something
lavender.
with, because if I'm not mistaken, it's on. I had bought a kit of organic essential oils, and if I'm not mistaken, it was on that said that the lavender shouldn't be used on young boys, that it can mess with their hormonal development.
I have never heard that,
No,
but
I have
that
not.
does not mean it's not true.
Yeah.
And that
And I've just been seeing, if you go to the store,
That's
there's
why-
lavender scented everything for little kids.
Well, I think
It
it's,
is, yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's more important to find where the essential oil is sourced from,
right.
because not all these things are created equal. When
Right.
she's saying put essential oil in there, she means put the best quality that you can afford in your product. Because
Right.
if you go to Walmart and you get theirs, they have a brand, and then there's all kinds of
There's all
organic
different
brands.
kinds. This is the Now brand. This is Nature's Oil. And then there's doTERRA. You know, I have all different kinds. There's what's this one? This is another Nature's Oil. This is Aurora Acacia or something.
Nature's right, because I've got a lot of the Now, because that's what the health food store sells.
Oh yeah.
I like her.
Yeah,
And
I like that.
I think the other thing I've have you heard anything about Cligenic?
No, what is it?
It's a brand
Another
name
brand,
of
yeah.
essential
Oh,
oil.
no,
I know of them, but I haven't heard anything positive or negative.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard literally nothing. So, and you know what else I didn't mention, and I probably should have, is, you know, I got all these things written down for y'all, but the reason I asked you to bring a notepad is because I don't just remember all these things. I actually started a little recipe book for myself. So I write all these recipes down. So if I'm doing something, I can go and I can look at a different salve, I can look at the leave-in conditioner, I can look at a sugar scrub, I can look at a multi-purpose cleaner if I don't remember how to make it. So that's the beauty of it, is having all these different things written down. And I'll pass this around. You guys are welcome to jot down what's in here or take pictures of it or whatever you want. It's nothing real fancy, but like we just talked, here's the multi-purpose spray cleaner, this one that we were talking about. And I wrote down for myself, you know, how long to soak the oranges in the vinegar, how to do it, how to strain it, to add the essential oil, things that it's good for. So in case I get home and I don't remember, right, you know, how did I make that? Did I put baking soda in that? Or what was I putting in that again? What? And Sean's like, boy, that worked great, make that again. I'm like, I put one of these things in there, and he's like, how come it's different than last time? That's why I got the little notepad.
How
So-
long did you have on there to soak those oranges in there?
reading it. 6 to 8
6
weeks.
weeks.
And this has been in here 3 years. So I just keep adding vinegar to
I'll
it.
just keep adding to it.
But you can see how it's got like the particles? That's because it's been in the vinegar so long it's physically breaking it down. So I'll probably at some point, I will put new oranges or lemons. I actually have a bunch of dehydrated limes, so maybe I'll do a lime one next. But it's whatever you have a bunch of. So I will, this is available for anyone that wants to look at it later. I'll put it over on the book pile when we get to the books. But I meant to mention it and I didn't. Okay, the next, any questions about wet wipes? No, that's pretty simple, right? Does anyone think they'll do that? Does anyone already do it? Yeah, that's great. I love it.
I mean, all of these things are super easy, and the whole point of it is to show people how simple, because we're so distracted in different parts of our lives, and sometimes we make excuses like, oh, well, I don't have time for that. These things are literally so simple, and you probably have half the ingredients already at your house.
You
So,
have more than half, yeah.
Yeah.
You have all of them, actually. Nikki, would you show them the soft scrub? I gotta go
will.
get some. All right, so we're gonna skip ahead.
So the soft scrub, the stuff to clean your sink and your all the good stuff with sink, your bathroom, your toilet. It's so simple. This is baking soda. And take some of this Castile soap. Buggy in there. Sorry, Buggy. 2 little squirts of soap. Sorry, I should have had my spoon out.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that.
That's alright.
I just forgot my condition. How much baking soda is that?
This is a half a cup. Half a cup of baking soda. I put 2 little squirts of soap in there, which is probably like a tablespoon. Sorry, bug in here. Flour there.
That's extra protein.
Right. And then you kind of mix it up as a paste, because we're going to put hydrogen peroxide in here. So you don't want it to just fizz up. So you just put your soap in here. Just a couple of squirts. Just a tiny bit more.
So you just want it to be wet enough so it's easy enough to stir
Like
in.
a little paste, yeah.
Could you add water if you had to or no?
I would not.
Okay.
You're not trying to melt the baking soda down. You want it to be like a soft, thick paste.
If you make it up in the jar, do you make it up in the bowl and put it in the jar?
I make it in the jar because I'm lazy and I don't want to have to wash the jar or the bowl. In all honesty, sometimes I will make it in the shower. That way, if I make a mess, it won't matter. You just slash it around and
Clean the bathtub. at the
double
same
dip.
time?
Yep.
That's right.
So, and then I'm gonna pour just a little. There you go. We'll stir that up a little bit. Because, like I said, the whole purpose is to keep this nice and pasty. And this was down here earlier, so it will fill your jar. You don't
Oh,
want
look
it to
at
be
that.
more than half full.
That's awesome.
Don't want it to be more than half full because it is going to grow a little bit in that jar. And in all honesty, I'm not real good with measurements. I was a chef in my past life, so we just kind of slap it in there and hope for the best.
Nice.
Yeah. But about a half a can, about a half a cup. And then you can use it right away. And I usually do that when I've overfilled the jar. I'm like, dang it, now I have to.
No.
I thought I was going to put this off.
Would that work on an inside your oven?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, big time.
Oh, yeah. And so then it looks like this when you get done with it. It's just like a little paste you would put on your sponge and clean your oven up. And I mean, it will take all the stuff off of it, like degrease. You got your degrease power in here, and then it works on your shower, your sink, toilet, all the things. And it's very, very, very soft. I mean, like, I know you guys don't want to feel it, but it's like,
It is very
It's
soft.
like
I had it on
lotion.
my hands.
Okay, you used Castile soap. Is
I
that
did.
a necessary type?
It's not. You can, I mean, like, the purpose of making these household cleaners is to make them as natural as possible.
Non-toxic.
So non-toxic. So if you're using any non-toxic soap, I wouldn't make it with Dawn, but if that's what you got available, sure. It's you could totally make it with Dawn. You could totally make it with,
You totally could.
yeah,
Yeah.
any kind of liquid. Yes, you could totally use different soaps.
Where can you buy the Castile?
Oh, the health food store.
Yeah. Amazon. I think Walmart has it. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
Walmart has Dr. Bronner's. I'm almost
I think the
positive.
health food store is the way to go.
Yeah.
Hi.
Because we definitely want to support those small businesses that are bringing in stuff that you can't find other places.
Yeah, they have small containers of it, and they have big ones. They have that size.
Because with this,
I was
mean,
just
like
there
this,
today.
this thing here will probably last me half my life at least. I mean, like, I'm making all kinds of stuff with it. But as you see, I'm just losing a couple little spoons at a time, and I've made enough cleaner here for, I mean, I don't like to clean, but if I did like to clean, I could make probably 4 months of cleaning supplies right here. I'm gonna stretch it out to 6. Let's do
But
that.
Myers,
I'm up for a challenge.
You
but
can
then
use it on
Myers
your own
is the
self.
same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
There we go.
I
I'll
got
make
some
you of
Myers.
that. You can
Oh,
scrub
okay.
yourself.
Yeah, no, the Myers is real
Yeah, I
good.
mean, like this
I-
stuff is not.
I
It's
use
not
Castile
toxic.
soap
It's just
also.
baking
Okay.
soda,
Actually,
Castile
Sean, would you
soap.
grab our
See,
Castile
where I
soap?
work,
And
I
you
can
get
see
real
what you
dirty.
use?
You most definitely could use
No,
the
well, bring the pump
degreaser
too, but
and-
the gallon
I mean,
jug
it
on
has
the floor.
all natural.
I've
We
tried
buy a
2 or 3
gallon at a
different
time,
body
so we
wash.
buy 2 gallons
Make a loofah and
every
just
2 years.
scrub.
So
Okay.
gallons lasts about a year. We use that for
Yeah.
laundry. We use
Try
that
a
for
little
the
bit of this
dishes.
and
We
see
use
how it
that
works
for,
because you see
shower
what's in it.
and cleaning.
There's nothing in
Pretty
it
much
that's
anything that we need.
Okay,
the
so I need to
abrasive
invest in
part is
Castile.
the baking soda. Yeah.
Which will
So
help.
Walmart
yeah.
has
And see, I'm a
Walmart
person
has
who's a little
Dr.
sensitive to
Bruder's
baking soda. So
magic
for me,
soap.
Doctor
I
who?
probably wouldn't
It's
put
the
it
same
on
thing.
skin,
That's
but
the Castile soap.
BRONNERS.
That's the same stuff.
yeah, that is the same stuff.
Yeah, so this is perfect. Yeah, I forgot to bring that up too. So this
All
is
right,
this
thank
is
you.
the Castile soap we use. So we buy a gallon jug of it.
What's here for?
Yeah. So this one's from Nature's Oil. And if you've ever heard of a bulk apothecary, did you ever hear of bulk apothecary? The health food store sells a gallon jug of this for $65. But if it's a year's worth of stuff, it's okay. I get this from bulk apothecary for like 22. So I get it from there. But that's, I use that for everything. And sometimes I switch to this one just because I like the scent, little variety, something different. Okay, the next, are you all good? All right.
Anybody have any questions about the soft scrub? Very simple. Start up.
Did I hear you say you can use it in your oven?
You can.
No problem.
Yeah, soft scrub. It doesn't have any chemicals in it. The only thing is the hydrogen peroxide, which I don't know if you guys know this or not, but my mom had a friend who came over and the cat damaged the carpet in her basement. This took all of the stains, everything out of the carpet.
Wow.
Hydrogen peroxide and baking soda especially will remove a lot of stains, a lot of odors. Very, very, you have to be like, a little more aggressive about it and maybe have to do it a couple times, but these things work really well.
I like the orange drain.
You can use this.
When I get hair in it.
Do you want to multi-purpose cleaner?
Thanks.
Okay, so the next one we're gonna do is a leave-in conditioner or a hair detangler. If anyone has snarls and they use a special detangler for their hair, does anyone buy that product? Do anything like that? You do? Or if you have little kids, or if you just don't feel like showering, you just want to wet your hair down because you're going somewhere. I make this natural detangler. Basically, I take this and I went and got the conditioner so I could show you. I use my conditioner, right? That's a doTERRA conditioner. And this is how much I put in. That much, almost nothing, right? The rest is all water and essential oil. And that's it. And you pay anywhere from like $6 to $8 for
A
hair
bottle of-
detangler.
yeah.
Oh, $29.95.
Oh my.
Yeah, so
Like,
this is
for
an
that-
organic hair
What's that kind? It's
detangler.
blue.
Is that distilled water or?
Moroccan oil?
That is rainwater right there. And then I put a couple drops of essential oil in it, whatever you want.
Not much.
That's it. And then I screw the top on and shake it up, and now when I squirt my hair down, it'll take all the snarls out, which, in case you guys didn't know, I have very curly hair. And when it's very humid in Tennessee, I get a lot of snarls.
Oh, it don't get humid around here.
My mom used to call it the rat's nest, so,
Oh,
and then so lovingly.
I had that too.
Loving mother she was. She might even kill her.
Oh,
That's not on film, right?
it is.
Love you, Mom.
Forever.
Anyhow, that's how you make the natural detangler.
Nice.
So quick and easy. Any questions about that?
Can you use it on pets?
You betcha.
Dogs?
Yeah.
It's
I
particular.
mean, that you just need to be mindful of whatever essential oils that you put in it are good for your animal.
Oh,
That's
okay.
exactly what I was gonna
can
say.
you get to put in it to get rid of fleas?
Oh.
I make a flea spray. that is specifically
Let's go
for
right
fleece.
into that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute because it don't work very good. So I'm not in a hurry to tell you about it. But I made it. I made the fleece spray. The next one, I want to stay with the hair topic though, is I made my own hairspray. Does anyone here use hairspray? Yeah. What does hairspray cost these days? You don't?
Nope.
I haven't
So
used it for
I just put
years.
it in a
What
big
does hairspray
film,
cost?
$6 a can usually.
$6.
$30.
Oh
30
my
bucks?
gosh.
$30.
What about orange, lavender, organic?
My goat would eat it. He'd eat my hair if it tasted that good.
All right. So hairspray is probably going to be shocking to you because it was shocking to me. I had no idea. So the only active ingredients are glycerin, water, and sugar. So glycerin you can buy at any pharmacy. I never heard of it before until I got started
You
doing
can
this
also
kind of
buy
stuff.
it on Amazon. They also sell it at Walmart.
They probably also sell it at the health food
They
store.
most definitely sell it at the
Is it
health food
greasy?
store.
No, not at all.
Glycerin. It's
No,
like a
it's a-
carrier oil for like when you
It's like
say
a,
you want to make something.
like KY jelly.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's greasy.
No, it's not. You don't use enough of it to make it greasy.
Say you want to make a tincture and you don't want to use alcohol. Say you have an issue with alcohol and you don't want to use alcohol. A lot of people will use glycerin instead.
That is true. You're wrecking it. I
Sorry.
didn't get to the tinctures. I was gonna say that. We're so like on the same brain. That's funny. All right, so all you do is you take a saucepan for this, and you put 2 teaspoons of sugar in it, and 2 cups of water, and 1 teaspoon of glycerin. So 2 cups of water, 2 teaspoons of sugar. Don't have any sugar out here. And 1 teaspoon of glycerin. You warm it all up until it's fully dissolved. Remove it from the heat. Add your essential oil. If you want it to be orange and lavender like mine, you add your essential oil and you put it in here.
How
So,
many drops?
how many drops? It's a
Enough
few.
to make it smell good to you.
And
Yep,
that would be
yep.
like 10 or something like that.
Well, I mean,
I didn't put
I would just smell it, shake it around, and then smell it.
so
Wonder how strong it
I
is
didn't put a
in the bottle.
number of drops on here that I
That's good.
used. You just shake it up before you use it. And what I didn't know is that almost all hairspray, what makes hairspray sticky is the sugar. That's why hairspray works, is because it's sticky. It's the sugar.
You're
in
adding
the
dirt
hair.
to your hair.
Yeah.
Clean dirt.
So
all
basically,
products are clean dirt that you're adding.
if you want to
to
pass this around, it smells good, it works good, and it's literally just like a teaspoon of sugar and water and glycerin and
So you
Wow.
heat it up till it
I
dissolves.
can't picture this.
I know. You heat it up on low heat, 2 teaspoons of sugar,
just
2
enough to
cups
melt
of
it.
2 cups of water, and a teaspoon of glycerin. You're just dissolving the sugar in the water. Basically, take it off the stove, add whatever scent you want, and pour it in the bottle. And you just shake it before you use it because it settles. So hairspray has a lot of other stuff so that it doesn't settle, or so it can be in an aerosol can, or so it can give you cancer, or whatever they decide to put in there, you know.
And what kind of hole does it give you?
So, great question.
Really?
So, yeah. So, based on how strong you want it, if you want it to be more stronghold, if you
Cook
like
it a
the
little
super
longer.
hold,
Yeah.
no, you add extra sugar. So, it's 2 teaspoons of sugar is like normal hold. If you want it to be like maximum hold, you do like 3 teaspoons of sugar.
You're
I thought
making
you was gonna say half
sugar
of it.
water. You're making simple syrup.
That's right. Yeah, and it smells good too. It smells, I mean, you can make it smell however you want. If you have a favorite cologne that you wear or perfume, you can make your hand soap smell like it. You can make your detangler smell like it. You can make your hairspray smell like it, so all your scents match. Like if you like Calvin Klein, right? You can make like everything that you use body product wise all smell the
But
same.
not Calvin Klein because they're trying to poison you. We trying to go with.
That was the only one I could
I
think
know,
of.
I know.
I don't know any perfume scents.
I don't either.
I don't know if there is any real
There are
good
people
ones out there.
making sense out there
I
for
had
people
no-
who are
nothing-
crunchy and want organic things that they know aren't putting a lot of pesticides or preservatives in it that may,
Hairspray.
affect your hormones or affect.
This is making me mad.
everybody has different illnesses and different things going on. So if you're mindful
It
of
went that way.
what works for you may not work for someone else, because you may not have the same illnesses or ailments that they have. You may not live in the same climate they live in.
That's right.
So that's why she's saying, take these basic things and make them your own. Make them what works for you, the soaps that you use and things like that.
Right.
And then be mindful that some of the things being sold are not
Great.
quality ingredients.
And I just want to say, I don't know what you guys think about what we've talked about so far, but remember, we have been raised in consumerism, right? We have been raised in a society where we're supposed to go out and buy everything and not do anything ourselves, right? If you have basic ingredients, you can make a whole bunch of stuff for pennies. But if you go buy it all from the store, as we all know, prices are going up and up and up, and everything is so expensive. So this is kind of like breaking the cycle of consumerism, you know?
And do you have most of these ingredients in your homes?
I mean,
Probably.
I mean, like vinegar, clean, fresh distilled water, maybe not the essential oils, but I'm
Sugar.
sure some of you have the essential oils, Castile soap, or some kind of good quality soap. These
Yep.
are very basic things that most of us all have
Yep.
in our house.
of one fashion or another. I just want to say that I forgot to mention this with this. I added rum to this to stabilize it so that it was more shelf stable. So I noticed that because I put it on the label.
And
I'm
you
like,
can
I've
also
never
drink
made it.
it.
There you go.
Don't drink it. Don't drink it, Robert.
It's got soap in
You
it.
put rum in it.
All right,
It's
so
gonna scrub his
how much rum?
insides.
I don't know because it didn't make it to my book.
Oh.
The rum didn't make it to my book.
Just like a
so,
splash.
Yeah, just a little.
Splash.
I'm sure it was a little, not drinkable enough.
Did you
Now
use
it would
witch
be
hazel?
like sugary rum, so
Knowing you,
Did
if
you
you
use
make
witch
it, you
hazel for
gonna
that
drink
too?
the rum and
Put it
put
around.
put it in
you
there.
could,
Actually, I've
but
never
the
even
witch
drunk
hazel,
one.
if you were to get it in your eyes,
Ugh.
might sting your
I don't know
eyes.
what it tastes like.
That's the only thing, but I mean that would definitely work for sure. And we're gonna be using witch hazel. So as far as the cleaning products, there's a couple more things that I forgot to put on here, but I make my own liquid soap. This is foaming hand soap, and basically, if anyone buys foaming hand soap at the store, how much does that cost? Does anyone know?
I don't know. I don't buy it at the store.
$2.50 a little thing of it.
Yeah, you were telling me about it the other day. So about $2.50. So I take this jar, right, and I add this soap, right, my concentrated Castile, and I add just a little bit, like that much. The rest is all water. So what makes soap, foaming soap, is this little dispenser right here. So this dispenser is the magic.
And you could just take the bottle that you bought at the store
And
when it's
refill
empty.
Yep, and that's what we got right here. So this is an extra. If anyone wants it, they're welcome to it. But basically, this is just, that's actually from doTERRA. It's the pumper that is the magic. So it's watered down soap, and it makes your soap go really far. And then I add essential oils to it so it smells good. So I usually do like orange or lemon. You know, if everyone's sick in my house, I might do tea tree.
I like
You know,
sage.
I never do sage.
I don't know why I like sage and oregano.
But again, another way to use the Castile soap. So, can we give anything else cleaning products?
Cleaning product wise, think about the herbs and what they do for you. Like the essential oils, oregano, it has antifungal and antibacterial properties. So like if you're working in an atmosphere where like maybe you're working around animals a lot and your hands, you know, if you're using soaps that have some essential oils that have antifungal bacteria, then every time you're washing your hands, you're getting those properties. So
That's right.
not just for smells. There's a lot of good other properties you can get in those cleaners and soaps.
What
Absolutely.
about
And I
body
was
wash?
gonna say that too, so.
Body wash?
Oh yeah, you could buy unscented body wash, which would have less crap in it, right? If you wanted to, and add essential oils to it and scent it any way you wanted. Or better yet, you buy like the Castile soap, and you find whatever leftover pumper you have, and you make a dilution of it. Make it as thick or as thin as you want. I mean, it's your
And
body
if you're
wash.
looking for a body wash, you would put that Castile soap in it and add some conditioning to it.
Mm-hmm.
Add that conditioner to it, and then you've got, like, you know,
Little more
the
creamy.
lathering, creamy, maybe the moisturizing you're looking for
Yep, a little more
in
creamy.
your body.
So this book here is Stacy's Home Remedies for Health and Home. This is Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, Body with a Smile. I'm going to put that over with the other books, but inside this book, if you look here, this is natural products and non-toxic things for home. If you want to flip through this book, she has a lot that we didn't cover, like ant repellent and room sprays and wasp repellent and fruit fly traps, and wood cleaner. I mean, we could have went on and on for quite a while. So
And you guys be thinking about what you want to do in the next classes, because I know Bonnie has a class coming up
Bonnie's doing a class after
in 2
this.
weeks.
Yep.
They're going to do a canning class and make some apple cider vinegar.
Yep. Absolutely.
And then, you know, as the group builds, we want to know, what do you guys want to learn? The learning is free. If you want to participate, that is the cost of the goodness. So,
Yep.
and
It's
then
just
if you guys
participating.
bring jars and bring the things you can make with us and be right here and enjoy it, because a lot of the things that we're going to make are going to be a little time consuming. The apple cider vinegar takes a couple of months. The last class that we did, the fire cider, takes a couple of
Right.
months.
Making
So,
fire cider. Nobody's fire cider's done yet.
no, and some of us have already tapped into our jars.
Well, it is.
Because it's good to have, even if it's just been sitting there for 2 weeks, it's still, you know, better than not having it at all.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to move on to tincture making, which, if there's no other questions about home cleaning products, no? Okay, so I have a few books for reference that are going to sit over there. They're all going to tell you exactly what I'm going to tell you, but if you want a more sophisticated way to talk about it, then you can look in these books and get more information. But I'm going to give you a quick and easy overview of it. Basically, the ideal way to do it is to pick fresh herbs. You pick the herbs in the morning, after the dew has gone, and before the heat of the day hits them. If you can't do that, then you can use store-bought dry herbs. So fresh or dry, it doesn't matter. I prefer fresh herbs. Some plants will encourage you to use fresh or dry. So when you go to make a tincture, like say for rosemary, and you're looking up the rosemary information, it's going to tell you if you should use dry or fresh. But just know that you can do it both ways. I kind of do tinctures in more of a rebel way. I just kind of like do it the way I want to do it, and it still works. So basically, you take a jar, fill it with stuff. I don't press it down. I loosely fill it. So I would take this mint. Does anyone want to do a tincture of mint?
Yeah.
To take home. Did anyone bring vodka? No?
Dang it.
Nobody brought vodka?
Clear.
Never mind. Okay.
That wasn't one of the things listed.
All right.
I wondered how that was gonna work.
That's true. That's true. All right. So all you do is you take it and you push it down into the jar. I don't cram it full. I just gently fill the jar. Then you take your alcohol. You can use rum. You can use homemade wine. You can use anything you want. It's just got to be 80 to 100 proof. I personally use Everclear.
Me too.
Everclear.
Drink the other stuff.
Yeah, drink the
Use
vodka. Yeah, drink the vodka. This is 190 proof. Don't drink this. It'll make you go blind.
Why's she looking at you?
Don't
gave
drink
up-
this. It'll make you go blind.
I gave up drinking 20 odd years ago.
There you go.
Right. But when I make my tincture with Everclear, I add a little water, and that's what I personally do.
I know.
So
It gets it all, the strength.
yeah. So the reason I do is in case someone takes it full strength, then I know it's already a little bit diluted. So if say I'm filling this jar, and I'm gonna do 3/4 of the way with Everclear, and then the last quarter I'll just add some clean water. So I know that no one's gonna overdose on it. And it's just like doing 100 proof vodka, but it goes a little further.
Use that stuff,
So,
James.
so tincture making, all you need is a clean glass jar. You need either fresh or dry herbs. You put the stuff in the jar. Now, if y'all want to come up here, I'll show you what some look like.
I love how you have your pain relief in the sauce jar.
You like
Yeah.
that?
You gotta get sauced.
Gonna get sauced, yeah. So this is a actually we can pass this around. This is vodka with turmeric root. So I just kind of leave it in there, but you can pass that
Anti-inflammatory.
around.
Where do you get your roots?
I get my roots from Mickey mainly. Sometimes I get them from Aldi's. Sometimes I order them online. This is ginger. Basically, same thing. I just took ginger root, put it
I
in
usually
vodka.
get
So that's
some
what we
stuff
could have
online
done
from
with the
Turmeric
remainder
Zone, or if
of
I'm
the
out and
root
about
from
somewhere,
the
I find
cider.
a stash of
Yep.
something good if
And
I'm
this
in
is gonna be
Nashville or
used
something
for
and
what?
then grow it.
This we're gonna get to that.
Oh,
Yeah, you
okay.
grow
We're gonna
it.
get to that.
Yeah.
So this is
It
lemon
grows
balm.
so easy.
Same thing. I put the lemon balm in here.
It grows
I put
really well
down
here.
lemon balm, the date I did it, and that I used 80 proof vodka. And you're welcome to open these and smell them if you want to.
Started gathering my seeds.
And then here is goldenrod, right? So I harvested careful.
Got a nice pop to it.
This I wild foraged the goldenrod. I had it in there for about 2 years. This is from 2020, and then
We sure do.
I took a strainer like this, and I strained out the material, and now it's just the infused vodka. So that's goldenrod. Here's another one. This is oregano.
Now, how do you know whether to use vodka for that?
Well,
You're gonna
just
use any
need to use
alcohol?
something that's over 80 proof.
Anything.
That's right.
Right.
Now, if you are a
Right.
recovering alcoholic, or you're afraid to be around kids or something,
Then you can use glycerin.
that's right. Then you use this glycerin, and you can use that to infuse your
turmeric is
fresh or dry herbs. This is oregano. Same thing in the vodka.
Y'all spill any on the
Glycerin
floor?
instead, does it take longer, same amount of time?
I don't think it's effective personally. It takes a little longer. But I mean, in some cases you need to. You're going to be using down little kids, or if you're dealing with a recovering alcoholic and they just can't be around any alcohol because it'll send them on a frenzy, then you have to, you know. Yeah, that one leaks a little. I shouldn't have passed that one around. So that's the basics on how to make a tincture. And basically with a tincture, you're going to wait 6 to 8 weeks. You're going to put it in a cool, dark place. And you're just gonna wait. I leave mine way longer than that.
Me too. I usually
So,
forget about them.
I use mine when I need them. Then I'm like, hey, I'll strain that because I'm gonna use it because I feel like it just gets more and more infused. Oh yeah, there's the other stuff I asked for. Thank you. So basically, use a glass container. I will tell you. See how this is a nice bright orange? I will tell you that when you fill the jar up, if you don't fill it right to the top of the rim and there's air left in there, it'll still make the exact same tincture, but it will turn black. So like this one, this is cayenne
Gotta leave
pepper.
the air around.
Yeah, because it's kind of like how the apple turns brown when you cut an apple open. It's the same way. So you don't want there to be any air. So you go right to the top of the jar and you fill it with alcohol, and then you put the lid on. And that's how I got the nice red still for the cayenne pepper. So, what's that?
That's a little.
Yeah,
That's a little.
isn't that cool? So here's the big question. What do I do with all these, right? We're gonna get to that. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna show you how to make these things, and then I'm gonna show you how to become your own doctor and figure out which ones you need to use and why. Because I don't want you to take my word for it when I say, she's having a heart attack, give her cayenne pepper under her tongue. And you're like, she's crazy, she's gonna go to jail for that, right? I want you to decide that that's the right thing to do, right? If lemon balm is needed, I don't want to tell Diane to use it and have her. This is still. I think that we all need to do our own research. Now, like I make pain medication out of turmeric root and ginger root, and I mix the two together into an eyedropper, and then we put the drops under our tongue, and we take that in place of like Tylenol or Advil or Aleve, and it works well for us.
And I take that white willow for the topical, and the wild lettuce. We've been taking wild lettuce instead of Advil or any of that. And I know the first thing I noticed is I have kidney disease and liver disease, and I have a lot of lower back pain. And I'll take Advil and have more back pain than I had to start with for 3 or 4 days. And so with the wild lettuce, I don't have that. I have an immediate, within 45 minutes, I had 80% of my pain was gone. This was both for a migraine and for back pain.
And that was the tincture.
It was the tincture. And it grows all over my property. It's very
right
easy
here.
to make.
Anyone can take some home if they want it.
It grows very
Mary can
easily
help
all
you
over the
forage it.
place. It's a big giant weed. And
Don't drink it,
within
Robert.
85
I didn't drink it.
Within an hour,
I can
95%
smell
of
that
my
now.
pain was gone. I got up and did 3 loads of laundry,
She did. She called
cooked
me. It was
dinner.
great.
I thought I was done for the night because I felt so rotten. And I didn't have the pain for 3 days after like I do when I took an Advil. And then it gives you a very short-lived, like, oh man, I did something for myself. But then the side effects were just so much more. So I feel like sometimes if we can use some of these things that maybe they don't work as fast.
They don't
Maybe
work
they
as
don't,
fast.
maybe they're not as over the top strong like the stuff that you get from the pharmacy.
They don't have harmful side effects
But the
either.
next few days, I don't want to pay for the 20 minutes or 45 minutes of relief that they give me when I could have something far less harmful on my body, and then I felt so much better.
Does it work for fibromyalgia?
I
Yes.
have fibromyalgia. Yeah, I had thyroid cancer, had my thyroid completely removed. I had endometrial cancer, had all of that removed. I lived in pain for a very, very long time. And before we moved down here, I had lost 85 pounds. I've gained most of it back because, stress, whatever. But,
Because she moved down here.
Because
you
she
know,
just loves
'cause
Tennessee.
I do love Tennessee. I really, really do. But I find that, when we're in balance, when we are paying attention, when we are listening to our body, we can do the things preventatively to keep us, focused on where we want to be. Sometimes we're real good at it, and sometimes I'm not real good at it. So,
And I just will say for Nikki, do your own research.
yes, always
It works
do your
for
own
her,
research.
but that don't
It
mean it's
does
going to work for you. So everyone needs to do their own individual research, so no one can ever come back and say, "Well, you
I
said that
have
worked."
kidney problems, so like for some people that have kidney problems, you don't want to take diuretics.
Yeah. Thyroid people like hypothyroid and lemon
Yes.
balm.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And I have hypothyroidism, and I do some of the things that they tell me not to do, and I have very good results.
Interesting.
So I would not say to people, hey, do this because I've had good results. I would say, I've had good results, and I did this. Because it doesn't work for everybody. And part of that is there's a lot of variables going on in people's lives that you can't assess. Like, I may have more stress than, say, someone else. But maybe they're working a whole lot of hours and they're maybe more taxing on their body. Everybody's doing things in a different way, and everybody has different family obligations and friends and other people laying their burdens on you too that pull you in every direction. So,
I'm gonna keep telling
preventative
you my
maintenance.
problems.
Preventative
Keep
maintenance.
telling you my problems.
That's what we, try to concentrate on. And you will not always be able to focus, and you'll fall back into bad habits. I did. I fell
all
into bad
do.
habits and thought, I have to take an Advil. I feel so crap.
Yep,
Instead of doing a little more research and finding something that worked a little better
a
for
little
me.
stronger.
Then
Yeah.
I started making a roll-on headache stick made from essential oils,
Nice.
and that started.
I make 5 different ones because they're all for different things.
That's right.
Stress headaches react to different smells than, say, a migraine.
Right. We should.
Allergy is different than stress. All of the different scents cause different reactions. And then some people have different reactions to different smells for whatever reason. So
Yeah.
that's why she says, hey, Do your own research. Do the things that you already know are working for you. And then, as we go on with this plant class, introducing you to more and more herbs, you'll find some things that, like for me, I love oregano. In the fall, I will always have oregano in my soap because of its antifungal and its antibacterial properties. People are sick more in the fall.
Yep.
If you don't get sick.
Right.
So
I could see us doing an entire thing on essential oils where we make roll-ons, we make room sprays, we make all different, things just with essential oils. And I've done a first aid with essential oils class, like what essential oils you should take with you and keep on you as like an emergency first aid. So maybe something like that in the future.
That sounds good.
good.
Yeah, maybe.
What
Right
did you
up
say?
my
You
alley.
mix anything else with the wild lettuce one that you take for pain? Or
The wild lettuce, I just basically you dry it, you put it with Everclear, and this is the one that you do with water because it's so bitter. A lot of those lettuces, some of the herbs are very bitter, and the way to kind of pull some of that out is to infuse it with the liquor for a month. Then you put water in it, infuse it longer, agitate it, of course, and then you strain the plant material out of it, and then you're going to heat it up because you're trying to purge off that water. But the water definitely will help with the extract process
Right. Yeah.
in
So
that wild lettuce, and it makes it a whole lot less bitter. So
Right.
you're adding the water because you're trying to make it not so astringent when you take it, and that water, boiling it out, it makes the liquor less hot too. 'Cause you're
well,
boiling
and the
out some of
water
liquor.
pulls out, extracts different properties out of the plant. There's a water extract and an alcohol extract, and you want to get both properties for that plant. So that's why you got to kind of do your own research to see which ones are which.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm lazy. Most of the time I do straight alcohol.
I do too.
But with the wild lettuce, definitely I would say it is
Do
a
both.
necessity for the water because of the taste.
Well, it does. There's a lot of water extracts that it pulls the principles out of the plant with water as well. And I've just talked about one plant in a jar, fresh or dry, bought or harvested, wild. But you can do mixtures, I have a mixture here. This is a bug spray I made, and it's witch hazel, glycerin, and it's got anise hyssop, tulsi, and all different things in it. So you can mix the herbs too. Once you get to know, you don't have to do a tincture of just one. That's why the books are so important because, I have a nervous stomach, right? I don't, but say I had a nervous stomach and I wanted something that stopped with nausea, right? Then I find 3 or 4 herbs that are good for nausea, and then maybe I make a tincture of that.
We
Or
taking ginger lemon shots.
there you go. There you go. Okay, so that's the down and dirty on tincture making. It's simple. Put the material in a glass jar, cover it with vodka or any type of alcohol right to the top. Cover it 6 to 8 weeks. Any questions on that? Cool, dark place.
I have a quick question. You said if you fill it to the top, it won't discolor.
Right.
What happens after you strain it?
No, after you strain it, it's fine.
Okay,
It's
then
just
it
while
won't
it's
discolor.
infused.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
just while it's infusing.
Just while it's infusing. Yeah, it'll get dark like this. Yeah, that's not filled to the top. Now this is actually garlic and honey, which you're familiar
Love
with.
that.
Fermented,
Which is fermented. Okay,
Some of that.
so infused oil, just as easy, but there's a couple different ways to do it. So you take the fresh or dried herb, and you're gonna put it in the jar, and you can do cold infusion, right? So you're gonna pour olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, any kind of oil you want. You're gonna pour that over your herbs, and then you can keep this in a closet for 6 to 8 weeks, or some of them do better if you set them in a sunny window and it heats the oil up, and then it really gets the herbal principles into it and it really warms it up. Or if you are in a hurry, you could put it in a double boiler, and I do it right in the glass jar. I'll take my double boiler and I'll set this right in there, and then I warm it right so that I'm heating this oil and I'm extracting it, and then I dump the plants out of it pretty quick. For example, I have This is an infused oil I made for a salve, a pain salve. So I actually did this one on the stove, specifically because I knew I wouldn't be able to infuse it quick enough. So this is a pain rub that I put on whenever, you know, my knees hurt, my feet hurt, Sean's back is killing him, whatever it might be. Let's see. So when you look through this book, you'll see there's a lot of things I didn't talk about, like comfrey salve and moisturizing face cream and whipped body lotion and stuff. Okay, so the pain relief salve, this is the oil for it. So I took this oil, which is olive oil, and I put dehydrated cayenne peppers, ginger root, fresh peppermint, and I actually used CBD buds, like smokable CBD buds, not pot. It's actual CBD. It was hemp, cherry lime flavor. I just thought I'd write it in here. Not like I'm ever gonna get that kind again, but and I cooked that in a double boiler for 4 days. Was that 4 days, Sean? Okay, I think it was 4 days. I kept turning it on and off, you know. I wouldn't leave the stove on when I was not in the cabin. So this was very strong, and I made a good amount of it so that I could make this pain relief salve. So I'll pass this around. And you know, you'd never know that there's cayenne pepper and ginger and peppermint in it, but I'll tell you what, if you rub, this is my open bottle for our house, so if you want to try it, you're welcome to. I took this infused oil and I added vitamin E and beeswax, and that's how I got it solid.
Does it have like a effervescent feel like Big Mac?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, I did add essential oil though. I added orange and peppermint. You know, and for color, I also added a teaspoon of turmeric powder just to give it a little color. So people like colorful stuff, so I like colorful stuff. Works better. So that's one infused oil. So you see how I incorporated multiple different plants into that oil, and then I just strained it out, and now I have the oil that I can use whenever I want to make more. The other infused oil I had, didn't I have another oil out here? Nikki, what'd you do with the other oil? Oh, right here. So this one is rose hips. These rose hips are from 2020. I started these when we still lived in New York, and I kept them in a sunny windowsill. And I have been infusing these in this olive oil for 4 years. So I will use this. Rose hips is really good for hair,
really good
skin, lots of things. So I like to keep that handy so that if I need it for something, like if I'm making a face cream or moisturizing something or another, or even when I make my triple antibiotic ointment, a lot of times I'll use the rose hips oil because it is moisturizing to the skin, right? You got a laceration or a cut, and you put it on there and it's going to soothe your skin more because it's got the infused rose hips. And rose hips actually are high in vitamin C, which helps wounds heal as well. So that's another infused oil. But basically, I put rose hips in the jar and I filled it with oil and I put the lid on and I let it sit for 6 to 8 weeks. And you can put it in a double boiler, you can put it in a sunny window, you can put it in a dark closet, and you can let it be as strong or as weak as you want, you know?
What's the best oil that you use the most?
Me personally, I use olive oil and coconut oil. Mainly olive oil. Lately I've been hearing that olive oil can go rancid. I've never
definitely.
experienced that. Have you experienced that, Nicolette?
There's not enough olive trees in the world to make the amount of olive oil that's on the shelves.
So it's not real.
So most of it, even though they say it's 100% olive oil, is not.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the problem why it goes bad.
Yeah.
But I
'cause
find that when you
preservatives.
infuse something with it, it does tend to last longer.
Yeah, and a lot of times I'll add vitamin E to a lot of the things that I make. One, because it's healing to the skin, but two, but vitamin E is also a preservative, so it helps preserve the salve from going rancid.
I use a lot of coconut oil. I really like avocado oil, both in cooking and in products.
I don't think that smells
Good.
gross. I use it. I use it for my cast iron pans
Yeah.
to season them, but then I heat it up real hot, you know, to seal in the pans, which I'm still learning how to use. And it's
It makes the best mayonnaise ever in the whole entire world.
I haven't tried the mayonnaise. You need to help me with that. Okay, so any questions on infused oils? There's 100 different ways and things that you can infuse in oil. I mean, you could do this peppermint in oil if you wanted to. You know, literally anything. So, no questions on that? Thank you. So the reason you would want an infused oil is so that you can make just what I'm passing around there, a salve. So, we're talking about the salves, right, is next. The only difference between an infused oil and a salve is beeswax. So you could take this exact same jar and rub it on your aches and pains and you're gonna feel fine from it. It's gonna do the same thing as this. This is just an easier, more palatable way to spread it around. You know, some people will put it in here and use it as massage oil. You can leave it a liquid and make something for earaches, right? This is garlic and mullein. And I just left it in the oil form, right? Instead of adding the beeswax. But literally, that's the only thing, is you're gonna take any type of oil, and if you don't have infused oil, but you still wanna make something, use essential oils. So you can use coconut oil, your essential oil, and your beeswax. You're gonna put your oil and your beeswax in a double boiler of some sort, melt it down when it's all liquid, take it off the heat, add whatever fragrances or medicinal things that you want, right? If you want tea tree oil, you could do that. I mean, I'm not going to give you specific recipes. There are in my book, and if you take pictures of them, you're allowed to. But I want everyone to do their own, right? I want you to come up with your own things, because we all need to be critical thinking. We need to stop relying on the doctors. We need to figure out what's wrong with us and how do we fix it. We're all smart enough to fix our own problems. We don't have to be dependent on the doctors. I mean, it's just true. So all these books, every single one of them, has everything you need in here. It goes over all the different plants. It goes over how to make a tincture, how to make a salve, how to make a poultice, how to make all these different things. Something was leaking. But basically that's all you're going to do. You're going to stay on the salve making. 'Cause I got off track.
Well, the
Sorry.
salve, like one of the salves that I make, we call it Be Savvy. It's like our coverall salve. It's the Neosporin, if you will.
That's right.
And I take a detox tea that's an organic blend, and I pour all the tea bags out into my coconut oil, and I infuse the tea in the oil for not even, like, it's not simmering, it's just under a simmer. Hot. Just, you could do it in a double boiler. I usually don't. But, and then I put the rose hips and aloe vera leaves and oregano leaves, dandelion root, all the things that I'm looking for, the stimulants, the things that grow cells, the things that are healing you very quickly. And then I strain all that out. I add the honey, I add the beeswax, I add any of the essential oils that I want to add, and then I pour it into my salve tins, and then we have salve, and I usually make it a couple times a year, and a great big giant batch of it. And it's just, it's our bug bite cream, it's our burn cream, it's everything. And I got bit by a dog. My whole finger was, blue, purple. It got into my skin, and it looked horrible. Within 4 or 5 days, I was able to move it. It didn't hurt a whole lot, and it started to heal. And it healed so fast. So just using some preventative maintenance, things that you already know you probably should be doing when you wake up and you have cracked skin and you think, oh, I'll put lotion on that later. No, love yourself right then. Be like, I'm going to put some lotion on right now, and I'm going to do it tonight too.
That's right.
Preventative maintenance can keep you from, having problems on down the line.
That's right. That's right. And you can use the oil or you can use the salve.
salve.
And this is the antibiotic salve I make, which is in the book as well, which I use the rose hips that I was talking about, and I put tea tree oil, essential oil, orange, lavender, and clove So the clove is actually
smells good.
numbing. It numbs the spot so it doesn't hurt. And the lavender is soothing, so it takes the ache away from it. And the tea tree is like an antibiotic, works as an antibiotic, and it helps heal it up. So that's how I do my antibiotic
Let
salve.
me smell that one. I know you were gonna pass it around, right?
Yeah, I was gonna pass it around. Don't stick your finger in it because we use that one.
It kind of smells like.
It smells good though.
the
This is
unicorn stuff. It smells good.
This is another one that I make. I make this one with coconut oil. This is a chest rub, and this one is eucalyptus, lavender, and peppermint. So this one will. This is Vicks Vapor Rub basically.
Yeah,
This one
nice.
will wake you up. So if you have any stuffy nose, just smell that and you'll be good.
That smells real good.
I do. I did start selling some of these at the farmers market. So if anyone's interested in the chest rub or the antibiotic or the pain rub, we do have some of these little jars in the red cabin.
Which market?
I've been going to the Camden Farmers Market, which is now on hold until
Till
the
September.
1st.
Yeah.
Yeah, September 1st.
Is that on Friday?
It's gonna be on
Friday.
Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be Saturday, right. Yeah, it was on Friday. All right, so the last thing is infused vinegar. Who can guess how you make infused vinegar? Can anyone guess, Nicolette?
You put herbs in vinegar in a jar and you let it sit.
For 6 to 8 weeks. What? All right. So what can you do with it then?
All the things.
Diane, what can you do with infused vinegar?
Make anything you make.
That's
on
a
your body.
weak answer.
Rub it on your body.
It's
Rub
like
it on your
the,
body. Well, you
needle
could,
form
but it's
thing.
vinegar. So,
really bad.
you would make salad dressing out of it. You could make like a really nice salad dressing with infused vinegar.
Marinate chicken.
But mainly I'm gonna, marinate chicken. That'd be good. I make a lot of cleaning products with infused vinegar. But you can make all kinds of things. So I could take this fresh peppermint, or whoever is welcome to. Did everyone brought vinegar? I know they did, didn't they? Anyone's welcome
Kim
to use
did.
this peppermint.
She's
She
prepared.
did. She brought a bunch of it. I
Go,
see.
Kim.
Basically, you're just gonna take the herbs, put it in a jar, and add vinegar. Let it sit 6 to 8 weeks. I have had. I didn't bring it out here because I brought this one, but I have pine needles. You see that pine tree over there? The one that's hanging over? You take those pine needles, you put it in a jar, you add vinegar to it, and now you have your pine salt, homemade pine salt.
Fresh or dried pine?
Either. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can kind of keep it simple. You know, it doesn't have to be hard. I mean, some people will take vinegar that has been soaked in, I don't remember exactly what plant it was. That's helpful, I know. I think it was sage. And you can use it as a hair rinse, and it helps darken dark hair, and you can use chamomile to lighten blonde
Apple
hair.
cider vinegar rinse is very good.
Yeah, and it fused with the plants
it's
even
like
better.
a conditioner even.
That's right.
And rosemary in with it.
Rosemary's
yes.
really good for your hair. And the other thing that isn't on the sheet, but I just wanted to talk about real quick, and then you all are welcome to just transverse my yard and pick to your heart's content and start shoving stuff in jars and adding stuff over it. Vinegar or olive oil or vodka, whatever. And yeah, we might as well get to making some stuff. And then I have chili in the house as well, so we can have chili, and I see y'all brought some stuff too, so we can have some food. But the last thing I wanted to mention that's really overlooked is all of our herbs can be dried as well. And there's a lot of medicine in dried herbs. So I feel like the biggest holdup for people using fresh herbs after they're dried is, what do you do with them? Does anyone do anything with their dried herbs specifically?
You do any
Nikki,
number
not
of
you.
things.
Tea? So how do you do, if you have this dried peppermint tea, how would you make tea?
I just steep it in water and then strain it and put honey in lemon.
That sounds delicious.
That's it.
Yeah, there is a lot of medicinal use to tea. So collecting herbs and drying them is the oldest and most effective way of doing plants. This is comfrey. comfrey is called bone knit, which is great for healing bones. So there's a ton of different ways to do things. I guess it's time for a break. Good thing we're almost
Start
done.
dropping stuff, it's time for a break.
Yeah, drop stuff. Time for a break. I just wanted to show you the different ways that I strain them. I just use this little strainer, and then I have the T-ball strainer as well. So, you have one of them as well?
No, I've been looking for one.
You have? Health food store.
Where?
The health food store
Where is that at?
in Camden.
Yeah, on
do you-
70, right there as you're at the, you know where the dump is?
You know where the
Okay.
Camden vet
When you
is?
get on the,
No.
when you're on 641 and you're turning to go towards the dump, it's before, like 2 or 3 stores down, kinda in.
If you've gone to
The home
down
plan.
home,
Yeah,
down home restaurant, you've gone too far.
It's
It's
next
on the
door
same-
to Down Home Family Restaurant.
If you didn't get
Okay.
if you didn't get one of the small town shoppers, we've got books up there. So you take one of those. They're actually in there, and you get their address right from the book.
Okay.
So
I've been hearing y'all talk about this store, and I lived in Camden. I grew up. I was
All
there
right,
up
so-
until about 3 years ago.
yeah, it's there. It's there.
I encourage everyone to come up here and go through these books. And I want to show you something. If you guys want to, I'm sure you're all ready to get up. Want to come up here and move around a little bit? I want to show you how cool this is. 'Cause then
Did you
we're
learn
at-
what you thought you were gonna learn?
Yeah, is this what you guys thought you were going to be learning? Are you disappointed? No. All right, good. Good, because we ain't charging you.
Because you could get your money back.
You get your- So, if you look, each one of these herbal books, we're just going to do mint, for example, because I picked the mint. If you read through, mint covers all the different ways to use it, right? Making tea, doing infusions, doing tinctures, salves, ointments, right? Here's another mint. Here's another mint where they're covering it there. So, you guys really need to read these and then look at the different books, because every one does a little bit something different. So you can learn so much just by having different resource guides, right? This is from the 1800s, and this is just rewritten so that it's easier to understand, right? So if you look through there, you'll see, I don't know if I did mint in here. I don't think I did for this one. Now this book, if you look through this book, this one is great because these are, you're looking up the plants, right? You're looking up comfrey, you're looking up sage, you're looking up the mint, but you're like, I don't even know I know what's wrong with me. I don't know what plant I need, right? That's a common thing. So this book, which I got from my beautiful friend Carolyn, Natural Remedies Sustain Me, you can look up your ailment, and then it'll tell you what herbs to use, and then you go to the other books as a point of reference, and when the book says you need catnip, then you come to this book and you read up how to use the catnip, right? What are the medicinal parts? How do you harvest it? How do you dry it? You know, do you put it in an oil? Where do you get it? Yeah, all different things like that. So feel free and dig through those, and then there's extra handouts here, and then this is from Doc Jones. Has anyone ever heard of Doc Jones? No. I highly recommend you get his book. It's this, Medicinal Weeds. And I went and saw him at Doug and Stacy's event over the summer, and this is part of his PowerPoint. So this is a really good thing to flip through and look at. So, and if I tried to cover all of this, it would be 17 hours long. So, you'll get the idea just by flipping through there. I kind of thought maybe you guys could take a picture of it, right? Because he talks about herbs for bleeding, right? What herbs would you take if you're cut real bad and you're bleeding? You know, besides cayenne pepper.
Sorry.
Like you didn't know. Yarrow, cayenne, shepherd's purse. So you can flip through there and maybe snap pictures of it with your phone if you want and look at it. And then from there, I figured you guys would want to pick some plants to start filling in jars with vinegar and olive oil and all that kind of stuff, and take some stuff home. But first you got to start at the table and figure out what kind of plants you want, and then I'll tell you where they're located. Because otherwise, if I go, here's the mullein over here, and then you're like, well, what's mullein good for? So, all right, well,
To smoke.
to smoke, we're gonna smoke the mullein. Yes,
That's what I'm
mulleinn's
gonna roll it
really
for.
good for upper
COPD.
respiratory and lung issues. Yeah. All right, well, I guess we're gonna wrap it up because Sean's filming, and then everyone can run around and clip some herbs.
Robert.
Thank you. I
And then
definitely
we'll
want
get
to
some
know where
food.
the mullein is.
I'll show you where everything is, but y'all got to dig into the books first.